It's time for Fergus Falls American Legion Baseball down at the Junior Legion State Baseball Tournament. Brought to you by Pemberton Law, Fergus Falls Monument Company, Lakeway Express, Olson Oil Card Express, American Legion Post 30, the Viking Cafe, FM Bank of Fergus Falls, Olson Funeral and Cremation Service, and American Federal Bank. Let's take it live with Jason Retzlaff in the call.
Well, thank you, Chuck Ahmet, and good evening, everyone. We're live from Red Haddocks Field in Bloomington, where tonight it's the 2024 Minnesota Division I Junior Legion State Tournament, where Fergus Falls Post 30 is in action tonight after a great playoff run to date. Jason Retzlaff with you here for the broadcast, and hey, it's history for the Post 30 team, as it's the first time in 64 years that any Fergus Falls Legion team has reached state. Last time was 1960, and this is the first time a Junior Legion team has qualified for state. All the players on this Fergus Falls Post 30 team in this upcoming high school year will either be sophomores and juniors, and what a great run they have had in the playoffs. Parker Tilke will toe the mound here tonight, and he's had a great summer pitching with 24 and 2/3 innings pitched, 30 strikeouts, 14 walks, a 1.14 ERA, and a 1.22 whip. The opponent tonight is the host team, Bloomington Post 550, where Fergus Falls is 19-5 on the year. Bloomington is 11-13. They qualified by being the host team, but their record is a little bit deceiving, as they're a very high-quality team. As Fergus Falls coach Shane Tilke talked with him last night, high-quality team. One of the common opponents that Fergus Falls and Bloomington has had is Bemidji. That's all we have here. Not a lot of information out there, but Fergus Falls split with Bemidji in the regular season. Bloomington Post 550 beat them 11-0. Of course, hard to know in baseball who's pitching, what the matchups are, but certainly be a tough game tonight for Post 30 going up against Bloomington on their home field here at Red Haddocks Field in Bloomington. So we're going to take a timeout, and when we return, we'll have more on the pregame show. We'll talk about how Fergus Falls got to this spot with their playoff run, 4 wins that they had coming into this one, and we'll have our starting lineups as well. A little late start here, 3 games before this, a little bit behind where we thought we'd be going, but we're going to have action for you in just a bit on a beautiful evening here in Bloomington. So we'll take a timeout, and we'll be back with more Fergus Falls Post 30 State Tournament baseball action after this.
Your history is important. It shapes who you are. Pemberton Law has been providing experience and professional legal representation for more than 140 years. Pemberton Law offers a myriad of services. However, their attorneys each focus on select services to offer supreme knowledge and experience to their clients. Pemberton Law would like to congratulate the Fergus Falls Junior American Legion team on a fantastic season. Pemberton Law in Fergus Falls, Detroit Lakes, Wadena, and Alexandria. Online at pemlaw.com.
Student athletes have their eyes on the ball, making game plans, scoring points, breaking records. At American Federal in Fergus Falls, we know you have goals too. Whether it's buying farmland, business expansion, home ownership, or planning for retirement, our trusted advisor, Dustin Morris, will help you find the best solutions and make the right calls. Make a winning appointment with an American Federal banker in Fergus Falls today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
And we're back here in Bloomington, where Fergus Falls Post 30 about to get their state tournament run going. First time in 64 years any Legion team has made it to state. And the path, now one thing I talked about with Shane Tilke, the Post 30 coach, they haven't played in a while. They last played on July 20th, so it's been quite a layoff here since they played. But they did have their sub-state F tournament from Thursday, July 18th to Saturday, July 20th. They opened that up with a win at Thief River Falls against Thief River, won 5-4. They scored 4 in the first inning and hung on. And Cam Wiedrick, Micah Johnson, good pitching performances in that one. Then later in the day, on July 18th, they played Moorhead Golds. This is all in Thief River Falls. Down 2-1 in the bottom of the 6th. Scored 7 runs in the 6th to win 8-3. Then the next day, against Alexandria Red in the double elimination tournament. They came from behind again to win 5-3. Alexandria took a 3-0 lead in the second inning, but Post 30 came back and was able to get it done. Great pitching performance by Parker Tilke, who will be pitching tonight. And then in the championship, like we said, it was a double elimination. It was Alec Red again, and it was a 12-6 win, the best offensive performance of the playoffs, and Fergus Falls Post 30 advanced to the state tournament. Well, let's take a look at the starting lineup here. First for Fergus Falls Post 30, leading off the designated hitter, number 14, Carson Froning. Batting second, the shortstop, Cam Wiedrick. Batting third, the second baseman, number 7, Brody Crine. Cleanup, the catcher, number 13, Brent Sherman. Batting fifth, the left fielder, number 4, Micah Johnson. Batting sixth, the pitcher, number 1, Parker Tilke. Batting seventh, the third baseman, number 3, Nolan Fellstuhl. And batting eighth, the first baseman, number 8, Holden Stenstrom. And batting ninth, the center fielder, number 10, Jacob Froning. And Ethan Swedberg, not in the lineup, but he will be in the field, in left field for Post 30. For Bloomington Post 550, leading off, the left fielder, number 38, Cole Peterson. Batting second, the catcher, number 36, Jack Frine. Batting third, the first baseman, number 43, Hunter Guess. Batting cleanup, the designated hitter, number 14, Sam Borboom. Batting fifth, third baseman, number 18, Gunnar Guyan. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 31, Logan Peterson. Batting seventh, the second baseman, number 28, Tyler McGovern. Batting eighth, the shortstop, number 35, Bjorn Golden. And batting ninth, the center fielder, number 30, Maxwell Coker. And the pitcher is number 40, Kyle Fortner, for Bloomington Post 550. So that is our starting lineups. We're going to take one more time out. When we return, we'll be really close to the first pitch here from Red Haddocks Field in Bloomington. Legion State Tournament action, Fergus Falls Post 30 trying to get on the board. It's a double elimination tournament. We'll talk about the games that happened previously in just a moment. But we'll take a timeout and back with more after this.
When it comes to honoring a life well lived, two names stand out: Glendy Nielsen Funeral Home and Cremation Services and Olson Funeral and Cremation. Two local funeral homes with a rich history in Fergus Falls. Together, they stand with a shared commitment of compassionate care and to support families during life's most challenging moments. When you need the guidance and understanding to help honor your loved ones with dignity and respect, trust both Glendy Nielsen and Olson Funeral Homes. Two funeral homes, one common mission in Fergus Falls.
I love lists, and the most satisfying part about lists, checking things off the list, like my list for today. Fill up with gas, get propane for the grill, grab snacks, sports drinks for the kids, and grab supper for everyone. First stop, Lakeway Express for gas. Oh, they've got propane tanks, and they got the snacks and Gatorade too, and fresh take and baked pizza for dinner. So check, 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 check. Sweet.
Lakeway Express, checking off everything on your list on East Burr Avenue, Fergus Falls.
And back here in Bloomington, moments away from the first pitch here with the Fergus Falls Post 30 Junior Legion team going up against Bloomington Post 550 in this 8-team 2024 Minnesota Division I Junior Legion State Tournament. And it looks like they're going to have some starting lineups here coming up. We just did our starting lineups in the previous segment. But let's look at what happened today. There have been 3 games here. And the reason why we're getting going a little bit later, where there was some weather, some storms coming through earlier that pushed game times of previous games back, delayed. And so that's why we're going to be getting that first pitch close to an hour later than we expected. But previously today, in game 1, the 9 a.m. game, it was Sub-State A champion Becker against Sub-State E champion Stillwater. And a good one, it was Becker over Stillwater 4-3. And then the next game was Excelsior Blue, Sub-State B champion against the Sub-State D champion Farmington. And a big offensive game for Farmington, defeating Excelsior Blue 15-7. And it's a double elimination tournament, so gotta lose twice to be eliminated. That means Becker and Farmington will play tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And Stillwater and Excelsior Blue in the elimination bracket will play. They're going to be playing actually right after this one here tonight in the elimination bracket. So that first round, one team could be done. One of those teams will be done after one day. And then the game before us was Chanhassen and New Ulm. And it was New Ulm 8 and Chanhassen 4. So that means the winner of this game with Fergus Falls and Bloomington will play New Ulm. And that game would be tomorrow at 2 o'clock right here from Bloomington at Red Haddocks Field. The loser would play Chanhassen, and that game would be tomorrow morning at 11:30 in this double elimination tournament. So depending on how you do, you don't know a lot of different possibilities for game time, but we will cover Fergus Falls Post 30 Junior Legion all the way through in whatever games they have. The championship game would be on Sunday if it got to that point. You could have one game in a day. You could have a couple, and always kind of a puzzle for the coaching staff and for Coach Shane Tilke to figure out who's going to pitch and how long do you throw them. Regulations for pitch count, so if you have so many pitches one day, you lose them for the next day or the next couple days, or maybe even the whole weekend. So always a puzzle. They got a lot of good arms, and it was fun talking with Shane last night, getting the background information and how they got here, and looking forward to seeing them compete in this state tournament. And we'll be back tomorrow, like we said, whether Post 30 wins or loses here. And I'm going to be staying at the Holiday Inn, and the American Legion team is going to be staying at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites Mall of America. And if you're heading to the cities for a sporting event or a family getaway, make your reservations now at the Holiday Inn Express Suites Mall of America. They're conveniently located in the heart of Bloomington, just minutes away from the Mall of America and the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport. Grab a free hot breakfast in the morning with their signature cinnamon rolls, then take their free 24/7 shuttle for some shopping at the mall or to catch your flight to the airport. Experience great hospitality at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites Mall of America. All right, well, Fergus Falls is the home team, so they are now taking the field. Parker Tilke going to the mound to get some warm-up pitches in, as Fergus Falls 19-5 on the year. Talking with Post 30 head coach Shane Tilke last night, and Shane said some of the keys for his team in this game and in the tournament in general, going to have to throw strikes, and force the opponent to hit the ball, keep it in play, don't give any free passes, and along with that is to play solid defense. Of course, always good to play good defense, but what it also does, you make the plays behind your pitcher, it helps limit the pitch count and gives you more options throughout the weekend pitching. So that defense and the pitch count certainly go hand in hand. Throwing strikes go hand in hand to try to give yourself as many options as you can pitching throughout the tournament. Also, he said their team can't overreact. If get down early or there's a big inning right away for one of their opponents, hang in there. I think, and it looks like they've done a great job of that. Looking at their Sub-State F tournament, they were down 2-1 in the sixth inning against Moorhead Golds. They were down against Alexandria 3-0 in that tournament as well. So they've done a great job of coming from behind, and it seems like that's a trait that they can count on and hang in there if things don't go right. They know that they can come back, and they've done that here to certainly get in this tournament. And that's a key that Coach Tilke said, stay on an even keel in this tournament. So we're ready to go here. And Bloomington coming to the plate, and leading off for Post 550 is the left fielder, Cole Peterson. And like I said, we don't have any information for statistics on Bloomington, so we'll be learning as we go along. But Tilke winds and delivers the first pitch of the game. It's high for a ball, 1-0 here to start things off. Parker Tilke, he leads Post 30 in wins with 5 wins this summer. And the 1-0 pitch fouled right back into the net in front of us, 1-1. And Tilke, a 1.14 ERA on the year, 1.22 whip. Walks, hits divided by innings pitched. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And that's nubbed to the right side. Charging is a first baseman. Tilke covering in. He's not able to get there in time. That was a tough play as a ground ball going to the right side. And Holden Stenstrom did everything he could to get there quickly, and Tilke couldn't get there in time to cover, and I don't think they would have got him anyway had Tilke been there right off the bat. So it'll be an infield hit to start the game for Bloomington, and the catcher Jack Frine is up with a runner at first. Nobody out here in the top of the first. And the pitch from Tilke, that's outside. 1-0, Jack Frine, the catcher. And he's a lefty here at the plate. And he steps in. Tilke ready, the set and the delivery. Ground ball right side, and diving, unable to make the play is Crine, and the runner's going to advance all the way to third. They throw it to third, and it gets away from Fellstuhl. Now they're going to try to score, and coming in to score the first run of the game is Cole Peterson. So it'll be a base hit for Frine, and then on the throwing error that got away from Fellstuhl, the run will score. Jack Frine with a single advances to second on the air. So post 30, Fergus Falls making maybe an unnecessary throw trying to get the runner at third in a play that they probably weren't going to get, and allowed the runner to come in to score. And it's 1-0 Bloomington here with the early lead. Now they throw back to second, tried to pick off Frine, and he gets back safely. So a pair of hits, and both hits were not hit very hard. The Frine single was a seeing eye grounder that Brody Crine dove for and couldn't quite get to, and that then the throwing error allowed the run to score. And the pitch is inside. As the batter is the first baseman, Hunter Guess, number 43 for Bloomington, a right-handed batter. Here's the pitch from Tilke. That's in there for a strike. A ball and a strike. Runner at second, nobody out. One run in here in the top of the first. Bloomington post 550 on their home field here against Fergus Falls. That one's just a bit outside, and it's 2-1. Lead at second is Jack Frine. Tilke on the mound, looking in. Here's the set and the pitch, and that's on the corner for a strike. Count evens at 2-2. Yeah, that's one of those keys we talked about was defense, and it failed the Otters failed Fergus Falls on that one. I got to get used to separating Fergus Falls and the Otters here a little bit. But post 30 as they throw it to second again, trying to pick off Frine, and he gets back once again. So 2-2 here to the number 3 batter, Hunter Guess. And Tilke to the set. And here's the pitch, and just off the outside corner, and the count will go full. 3-2's the count. Runner at second, nobody out. Here's the pitch from Tilke, and it's a fly ball to right field. Backing up, still going back, and unable to make the play is Ethan Swedberg. It goes over his head. Runner comes around to score. It's 2-0, and that'll be a double for Hunter Guess. So a little shaky start here for Fergus Falls defensively. And I think Ethan thought it was going to be a little more shallow, and the ball continued to carry out there. It wasn't hit particularly hard, but continued to carry, and it ends up being an RBI double for Hunter Guess, and it's 2-0 Bloomington. They got a runner at second, nobody out, and Sam Borboom, the DH, is at the plate. Here's the pitch that's in there for a strike, right on the outside corner. 0-1 here to Sam Borboom. Number 14, next pitch. That's in there for a strike, so Tilke works ahead. Fergus Falls needs to get that first out, and talked about with Shane Tilke. Try not to overreact and stay on an even keel, down early, but try to limit the damage here in the first inning. As Tilke steps off, now looks back into Borboom, the DH. 0-2 is the count. Runner at second takes his lead. Here's the pitch. That's inside. And it'll be 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tilke has struck out 30 batters in 24 2/3 innings pitched. He's walked 14. And here's the 1-2 pitch. That's low and away. And we're back to 2-2 on the count to Sam Borboom, the designated hitter. So here's the 2-2 pitch from Tilke, and that is fouled off the foot of Borboom. Shakes it off a bit. Doesn't seem to be too rattled in pain on that one. So it'll be 2-2. They'll do it all over again. Designated hitter Sam Borboom steps in. Here's a 2-2 pitch from Tilke, and that got him on the right around the hand or the wrist, a hit by pitch. As that pitch got away from Tilke a little bit, ran inside, and Borboom couldn't get out of the way, and it's a hit by pitch. And more base runners here for Bloomington. And it'll be first and second, nobody out. 2-0, Bloomington, and Gunnar Guyan, the third baseman, is at the plate for Bloomington post 550. So Tilke got ahead and lost him on the hit by pitch, and this one's fouled back right behind us, over on to the street behind us, and it'll be 0-1. Couple singles, a double, and a hit by pitch. It's 2-0. First and second, nobody out. Tilke's pitch, and that's looped down the left field line in foul territory, and unable to get there in time is Micah Johnson, and it'll be a foul ball. And the count is 0-2. So Tilke got ahead of Borboom 0-2, unable to close him out, ended up hitting him on a 2-2 count. He's got Gunnar Guyan in great spot for the first strikeout of the game. Here's the off-speed pitch, rung him up, strike three. Beautiful pitch there by Tilke, off-speed pitch. Struck him out looking, first out of the game.
The right fielder.
So now coming up, the right fielder, number 31, Logan Peterson. Right fielder, and here's the pitch to Peterson. Swings through that one, another off-speed pitch from Tilke. See if Parker's getting into a groove here a little bit. Gets ahead 0-1. He's got ahead of the last three batters here. The next one, line drive though up the middle. That's in for a base hit. Charging it is Froning. He'll throw it in. They're going to hold the runner at third, and that's going to load the bases for the number 7 batter and second baseman Tyler McGovern coming to the plate.
Batting seventh, the second baseman.
So bases loaded, 1 out, 2 runs in here in the first inning. It's 2-0. Bloomington post 550 leading Fergus Falls post 30 in this first round of the Legion State Tournament. There's a chopper to the right side, charging as Brody Crine picks it up. Now he mishandles it, and everyone's going to be safe. Another one weakly hit, and Crine closed in on it and ended up having maybe a little tougher short hop play, but didn't handle it, and that'll be the second error of the inning in the defense for Fergus Falls. Really struggling here as a run scores. Hunter Guest comes in to score, and it's now 3-0, bases loaded, and here's Bjorn Golden at the plate, and he takes a strike. He's the shortstop for Bloomington. So a couple errors. Play that should have been made on that one. There's a curveball. It catches the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes. So Bjorn Golden, the 8th hitter to bat, only 1 out here. And here's the 0-2 pitch. Fouls it back into the net. Still 0-2. And again, one of the big things as well is top arm for post 30, Parker Tilke, having his pitch count be a large number here in this first inning. He looks in for the sign. 0-2 pitch with 1 out here in the top of the first. Swung, and that's fouled off out of play. As Golden stays alive. So a couple errors and then somewhat misplayed fly to right field. And it's bases loaded. Here's the 0-2 pitch. There's a line drive to the gap in left center field. That's trouble. That's going to get in between Froning and Johnson. 2 runs are going to be in. It's going to be a 2-run double for Bjorn Golden, and it's 5-0, just like that, for Bloomington post 550 with the lead. So coming in to score was Sam Borboom, and also in to score Logan Peterson. Tyler McGovern advances to third with Golden at second. So it's 5-0. And now Shane Tilke coming to the mound to talk things over here with Parker Tilke and talk things over with the infield.
This trip to the mound is sponsored by Shield, your destination for sporting goods.
So it's 5-0. Number 9 batter coming to the plate with 1 out. That'll be Maxwell Coker, the center fielder. And Parker Tilkey's got ahead of the most recent batters here. But Golden really was able to turn on that pitch. It was a little in, maybe right on the inside corner. Really good piece of hitting. Got it right to the gap in between Frawning and Micah Johnson. And that got 2 runs to come in. And more runners in scoring position here with just 1 out. So Shane Tilkey, head coach, returning to the dugout after talking with Parker Tilkey in the infield. And here's Coker, steps in, and the pitch is in for a strike, 0-1. McGovern at third, Golden at second, and here's the pitch to Coker. That's outside, 1-1. Winner of this game will move on to play New Ulm as the 1-1 pitch is low, 2-1. Winner of this game will move on to play New Ulm. The loser will play Chanhassen. And there's a chopper right side. It's fielded. Now they're going to come home with it. And the play at the plate, and he's out. Good play there by Fergus Falls, cutting off the runner coming home. So McGovern coming home on contact. The chopper to first baseman Holden Stenstrom. He went to the catcher Brent Sherman. He applied the tag. Good defensive play to cut off the run. So that putout will be the 3-2 putout, with a runner getting to first. Advancing to third is Bjorn Golden. So first and third, 2 outs. Fergus Falls down 5-0 here. And really a big batter here to try to get out unscathed. Now there's a blooper left side. That's going to drop for a hit. Run's going to score. Now runner advancing to third. They might have a play. Here's the throw to third, and he's going to be out. So Fergus Falls makes a good defensive play to cut down the runner at third, but 6 runs do end up coming in to score, as Cole Peterson a pair of singles in that inning and give him an RBI. And through half an inning, big first inning for Bloomington. They put 6 on the board. 6-0 is the score. Fergus Falls coming up. We'll be back with more after this timeout.
At FM Bank, they invite you to experience the advantage. Experience personalized financial expertise and excellence in customer service. FM Bank continues to add products, services, and technology to make your banking and insurance transactions more convenient. Plus, decisions are made right here across the desk from you. No board meetings to wait for, no centralized office to review. And in 2025, their new location will better serve you in the community. FM Bank of Fergus Falls. Experience the advantage. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Cravings. We all get them, and right now you're craving food from the Viking Cafe. Hi, this is Pat from the Viking, and guess what? We are here to help. We can satisfy those cravings right now. Just come on down, grab a booth, a table or a stool, order what you're craving from one of our amazing staff, and ta-da, your craving is satisfied. From our scratch-made breakfasts and lunches at the Viking, we pride ourselves on our food, our service, and taking care of your cravings. So come on in and see us at the Viking Cafe in beautiful downtown Fergus Falls.
Who's hungry? American Legion in Fergus Falls can take... Who's hungry? American Legion in Fergus Falls can take care of that. Dine in or take out every Wednesday through Saturday and enjoy our weekly Wednesday special. Burgers and walleye, salads and desserts, and of course our famous barbecued ribs and cheesy potatoes. Ask about our dessert specials too. American Legion of Fergus Falls. So proud of our American Legion baseball teams.
Back here with Fergus Falls Post 30 competing in the Minnesota Division I Junior Legion State Tournament here in Bloomington. Tough start for Fergus Falls as Bloomington put up 6 runs here in the top of the first, and Fergus Falls coming to the plate. And 5 hits and a hit by pitch allowed by Parker Tilkey, but not the best defensive performance by Fergus Falls. A couple errors, a couple of those runs were unearned. So looking to get some runs on the board to try to get back in the game. And leading off for Fergus Falls will be the designated hitter, number 14, Carson Frawning. And the pitcher for Bloomington is Kyle Fortner. And Fortner winds and delivers his first pitch of the game, and that's low and outside. 1-0, Caleb Frawning, excuse me. is at the plate for Fergus Falls. The designated hitter, it's 1-0. And here's the pitch. And that one is just low as well. 2 balls and no strikes. So Caleb Froning on the season, really a nice summer, batting .327 on the season with an .852 OPS, 17 runs, 11 RBIs in the 24 games, and that's low, 3-0. Well, that's what Fergus could use right away, is get Caleb on base and try to put some pressure on right away after the big inning from Bloomington. So it's 3-0, and here's the pitch to Froning. That one is in the zone for a strike right down the middle. So 3 balls and a strike. Kyle Fortner, the pitcher for Bloomington, post 550. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and that one is chopped in front of the pitcher. Fortner comes in to try and make the play and throws, and it's going to be an infield single. And Fergus Falls will take that, kind of one of those swinging bunts that just chopped in front down the third baseline, stayed in play. Fortner charged it and tried to make the play, but really didn't have much of a chance. And Fergus Falls gets Caleb Froning on base, and that'll bring up shortstop. Shortstop number 2, Cam Wiedrich. And Wiedrich batting .312 on the year. 99 plate appearances, and he fouls that one out of play. Is it going to be out of play? Yeah, it's just out of play. It'll be 0-1. Third baseman for Bloomington, Gunnar Guyan, trying to go down and track it down, but just ran out of room. So it's 0-1. Cam Wiedrich said batting .312 on the year. He's got an .807 OPS. He's scored 26 times and driven in 11. He leads Fergus Falls post 30 and runs scored with 26 on the year. And runner at first, nobody out. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's up and in. Now on the move. Froning's on the move, throwing down to second, and he will steal second base. The ball gets away from McGovern, but Froning sliding in for the stolen base. And that is Caleb Froning's team-leading 17th stolen base on the season. He's stolen 17 bases, and he's only been caught once, so he's a threat on the bases, and he gets down to second base with the count 1-1 to Cam Wiedrich. Nobody out. Fergus Falls trailing Bloomington 6-0 here in the bottom of the first. Here's Fortner to the set and the pitch. Swing, that's fouled back, out of play. And the count moves to 1-2. Fergus Falls coming into this game on a 7-game win streak, including those 4 wins in the Sub-State F tournament. But it's been a long layoff. It's been 11 days since they've last played. Long time. So trying to maybe get rid of some of the rust. Here's the pitch. Chopper up the middle. Charged by Galden, the shortstop. Slings it over to first for the first out. Advancing to third is Caleb Froning. So 6-3 on the putout. Cam Wiedrich is retired. And that'll bring up the second baseman at number 7, Brody Crine. So Brody Crine with a runner at third, 1 out. It's Caleb Froning, who had an infield single, stole second, advanced to third on that Wiedrich ground out. And now Crine to the plate. One of the top hitters for Fergus Falls, batting .358 on the season. Takes a strike, 0-1. Crine is the leader in RBIs at 27 RBIs. He's scored 11 times, and he has an .811 OPS. He's walked 11 times on the year. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one's low. Gets away momentarily from Frine, but blocks it, and it's 1-1. Caleb Froning at third with 1 out. 6-0 Bloomington with the lead. After the game, we'll have the Pemberton Law post-game show, so stay tuned throughout the broadcast. Pemberton Law sponsoring our post-game show after the game. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Fortner, off speed, nub to the right side. Charging is the first baseman, Guess. Covering first is Fortner. They get the out. Coming in to score is Caleb Froning. And it's now 6-1, but it is the second out of the inning. 3-1 on the putout. Give Crine his team-leading 28th RBI of the summer. And coming to the plate is the cleanup hitter, number 13, Brent Sherman, the catcher. Sherman batting .397 on the year. He's the leader in batting average. He and Felstool leading in batting average at .397. Hard ground ball, but it's right to the shortstop. Golden sets, fires to first, and that'll do it for the inning. Fergus Falls gets one back. They get the leadoff single, but only able to put one on the board. As Fergus Falls scores one run on one hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. On to the second we go. Bloomington 6, Fergus Falls 1 here in the Minnesota Division I Junior Legion State Tournament. And back with more action after this timeout.
It's grilling season. Time to go through the checklist to make sure you're set. Let's see. Grill gates clean. Lighter ignition works. Propane tank is full. Maybe. When it comes to grilling, there are no maybes. Time to refill or exchange your propane tank from Olson Oil Express. You can either exchange your tank or have their staff refill your tank for you. And now that you know your grill tank is ready for cooking, have you checked your camper tanks? I didn't think so. Olson Oil Card Express, West Lincoln, Fergus Falls. Ryan Welly from Fergus Falls Monument talks about why pre-planning is so important.
How beneficial it is for while you're still alive to do your pre-planning, whether it's your funeral planning, memorial planning, those type of things. It's so difficult for the family to make those decisions after the fact, especially for a spouse that's living still. They're already going through so much, and then to have to try to make these decisions on their own is so difficult.
Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls, and at ForeverStoneMemorials.com. Memorials that matter.
And back here in Bloomington, 6-1, Bloomington with the lead here after an inning, and already a pitching change as Shane Tilke is going to come with new pitcher, and that pitcher is going to be Brody Crine. So Parker Tilke, we talked about that pitch count racking up pretty good, and Shane Tilke electing to bring in Brody Crine. And some of the rules with pitch count, if a pitcher goes 30, if they have 30 pitches, they require 1 day of rest. You can also bring one pitcher you can bring back in after taking out is the starter, so that could be a possibility later on, as the first pitch from Crine is outside. The batter is the catcher, Jack Frine. Frine singled in the first inning and came around to score. And second pitch is outside. It's 2-0. Brody Crine on the year, 2.80 ERA, 1.4 whip. And that fastball's fouled back, 2-1. Brody struck out 17 in 30 innings pitched, walked 6. Here's the 2-1 pitch, off-speed pitch. Ground ball right to first base, goes right under the glove of Fergus Falls first baseman Holden Stenstrom, and that'll be the third error of the game already for Fergus Falls. So that defensive key that Shane Tilke talked about has been a big weakness here so far as Frine gets on an error. That was pretty well hit, but a play that should have been made went right under the glove of Stenstrom. And runner on first, nobody out, and Hunter Guess to the plate. Off-speed pitch is low, gets away from Sherman, and advancing to second on the wild pitch is Frine. So now runner in scoring position. Guess doubled in the first inning. It was an RBI double as he takes a strike, 1-1. The first baseman. And he also came around to score. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Crine. Foul down the right field line. It is going to bounce foul. So 1-2 here. Brody Crine working against Hunter Guest, the number 3 batter. Bloomington had 10 players come to the plate in the first inning when they scored 6 runs. Runner at second, nobody out in top of the second, and the pitch from Crine is up and in. That'll even the count at 2-2. So Crine to the set, Crine at second, and the ball is low. Gets away briefly from Sherman, but the runner will not try to advance. And that'll bring it to a full count at 3-2. 6-1 is the score. Bloomington put up 6 in the first. Fergus Falls got 1 of those back. And here's the pitch. There's a high fly ball to center field. Jacob Froning is under it. Has it measured, makes the catch. And the runner will not try to advance as courtesy runner actually is in. You can have a courtesy runner for the catcher and the pitcher. The courtesy runner who came in for Frine after he got on base on that error is Mason Kaiser. And first pitch, the next at bat is in there for a strike. Sam Borboom is the batter. He got hit by a pitch, came around to score in the first inning. So Crine ahead 0-1. 1 out runner at second. Here's the pitch. There's a high pop-up. That is in the infield. And under it is Fellstool. He makes the play. Nolan Fellstool, the third baseman, puts it away. And after that, runner gets on an error. And the second on a wild pitch. Couple quick outs.
Next up, the third baseman, number 18, Gunnar.
And 2 down. We're runner at second. And it'll be the third baseman, Gunnar Guyan, at the plate. And Crine ready, delivers. Fouled out one back, and that's out of play. No balls and a strike. Nice facility here in Bloomington. Thanks for the hospitality from the Legion here setting us up. And thanks to our sponsors for allowing this broadcast to happen and cover a historic state tournament run for this Fergus Falls team. First time a Legion team has made it in 64 years. As the 0-1 pitch out of the zone for a ball, but then that off-speed pitch on the next one is in there for a strike. So it's 1-2 now to Gunnar Guyan. Mason Kaiser at second base, and here's the pitch. That's high, trying to steal third. They throw it down to third. Is he out? And just got in safely under the tag of Fellstool. So a stolen base for Kaiser gets him to third. And a little risky trying to advance to third with 2 outs, but now a wild pitch could potentially score a run. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Crine, and that's high, and the count goes full. To Gunnar Guyan. Gunnar Guyan 0 for 1. He was the first out of the game. He struck out looking. And here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out as Guyan goes down swinging. Good job there by Brody Crine to come in and put a 0 on the board for Fergus Falls. As no runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left on base. We're going to the bottom of the second. Bloomington 6, Fergus Falls post 31 in the Junior Legion State Tournament. And back with more after a word from our sponsors.
Your history is important. It shapes who you are. Pemberton Law has been providing experience and professional legal representation for more than 140 years. Pemberton Law offers a myriad of services. However, their attorneys each focus on select services to offer supreme knowledge and experience to their clients. Pemberton Law would like to congratulate the Fergus Falls Junior American Legion team on a fantastic season. Pemberton Law in Fergus Falls, Detroit Lakes, Wadena, and Alexandria. Online at PenLaw.com.
I love lists, and the most satisfying part about lists, checking things off the list, like my list for today. Fill up with gas, get propane for the grill, grab snacks, sports drinks for the kids, and grab supper for everyone. First stop, Lakeway Express for gas. Oh, they've got propane tanks, and they got the snacks and Gatorade too, and fresh take and baked pizza for dinner. So check, 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 check. Sweet.
Lakeway Express, checking off everything on your list on East Burr Avenue, Fergus Falls.
And on to the bottom of the second inning. Good job by Brody Crine in relief for Fergus Falls.
Left fielder number 4.
Ending the inning on a strikeout of Gunnar Guyan. And Micah Johnson will lead things off for Fergus Falls, the left fielder. Number 4. It is Kyle Fortner still on the mound for Bloomington post 550. And here is the opening pitch of the at-bat right down the pipe for a strike. Micah on the season, batting .286 in 75 plate appearances, 18 runs scored and 14 RBIs. And here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing ground ball to short. over to his right. Golden picks up, fires over to first, and it is in time for the out. Good scoop there. Throws a little low, and a good scoop there by Hunter Guess to get it out of the dirt. And Johnson is retired, 6-3 on the putout. And Parker Tilke now to the plate. And Parker batting .319 on the season. .829 OPS, 81 plate appearances. And here's the pitch from Fortner. Swing and popped, foul. Now coming over, his third baseman is going to have enough room. No, he won't. It up against the fence. It literally landed on the top portion of the fence and bounced up. It couldn't have hit the top of the fence more solid. So Fergus will take that break. And it'll be, instead of an out, 0-1 to Parker Tilke. Tilke also on the season, driven in 14. He scored 13 times. As Fortner's ready, here's the pitch. That's in for a strike. And he's ahead of Tilke now, 0-2. So 2 big errors really hurt Fergus Falls in that first inning. The 6 runs Bloomington scored, 4 of them were earned. They got away with an error. Good job by Brody Crine to work around that leadoff error. So 3 errors so far. Now the 0-2 pitch is low and away. And it's a ball and 2 strikes now to Parker Tilke. Nolan Fellstool is on deck for post 30. And Fortner winds. And here's the pitch. There's a curveball. That was a beauty. Right over the plate. And Parker Tilke goes down looking. And that had some movement on it. And that is the first strikeout of the game for Kyle Fortner. And that'll bring up Nolan Fellstool, the third baseman. And he is coming into the game tied with Brent Sherman for the leading batting average mark for Fergus Falls at .397. And the lefty, first pitch chopped to second base, goes right to Tyler McGovern, comes up with it, over to first, and that's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Kyle Fortner. And Fergus Falls is retired in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We're on to the third inning. It's Bloomington 6 and Fergus Falls 1. And we'll be back with more Junior Legion State Tournament action after this.
Your history is important. It shapes who you are. Pemberton Law has been providing experience and professional legal representation for more than 140 years. Pemberton Law offers a myriad of services. However, their attorneys each focus on select services to offer supreme knowledge and experience to their clients. Pemberton Law would like to congratulate the Fergus Falls Junior American team on a fantastic season. Pemberton Law in Fergus Falls, Detroit Lakes, Wadena, and Alexandria. Online at penlaw.com.
Ryan Welly on customizing your memorial.
We're going to ask a lot of questions. Do you want an upright or something flat? Okay, do you have a color in mind? And then we kind of go through the different types of granite and what can be put on certain granites. Once we kind of get an idea of the color, the size, and the shape of stone that we want, then we start working on design. Our design department will design something up so they get a chance to look at it and they can change it up as many times as they need at that point.
Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls, and at foreverstonememorials.com. Memorials that matter.
Back here for the third inning, top of the third, 6-1, Bloomington leading Fergus Falls. After Parker Tilke was relieved by Brody Crine in the second inning, there were some changes in the defensive complexion that we'll go over here in a moment. First pitch is fouled off. That was fouled off by Logan Peterson, the right fielder. It's 0-1. Parker Tilke is now in center field as Jacob Froning moved to left and Micah Johnson moved to second, as Brody Crine, who was at second, was moved to the pitching mound. And Crine missed on that one. It looked like a pretty good pitch, but it'll be 1-1. Here's the pitch, and that one's high. So 2-1. Brody Crine pitching to Logan Peterson. Great inning for Crine coming in relief in the second. Leadoff man got on an error, and then he retired the next 3, including a strikeout of Gunnar Guyan to end the inning. That next delivery was high, so it's 3-1 to Peterson. And here's the pitch. That one is, well, that was a little outside, I guess. So that'll be ball 4. And Logan Peterson will go to first. And that 1-1 pitch looked great, and that one didn't look too far off the plate here, but in any event, the leadoff man is on for Bloomington, and Tyler McGovern now is at the plate. Runner first, nobody on top of the third, and McGovern bloops it down the right side in foul territory. Stenstrom tries to track it down, couldn't get there. It'll be 0-1. McGovern in the first inning, he's 0 for 1. He got on base on an error. He didn't come around to score as he was cut off at home. As he fouls that one off, and it's now 0-2. He was cut down at home on that ground ball from Stenstrom. Got it to Sherman to cut him off at home. So 6-1. It's Logan Peterson at first base for Bloomington. 0-2 count. And here's the pitch, and it's outside from Brody Crine. Well, ball and 2 strikes. Brody not a big strikeout pitcher, 17 strikeouts in 30 innings. He got a good swinging strike to end the last inning. Could use one here. That one is in the dirt, and advancing to second will be Logan Peterson on that wild pitch. So runner at second now, and it is a 2-2 count to the number 7 batter in the order, the second baseman, Tyler McGovern. And here's ball chopped towards third, picked up and trying to make the play, unable to make the play is the third baseman. Now gets it over, tries to cut off Peterson at third, and he's in safely. Felstool, that was going to be a tough play. Closing in, I would not call that an error. He bobbled it, but it was a really tough one. Had to come in hard and make the perfect play. Now they give him a hit, and that's what it should be. So an infield single for McGovern. Peterson goes to third. Now we got runners at the corners and nobody out. And in Fergus Falls, they've been a lot of the base runners haven't hit it real hard either. Now there's a ground ball. That could be 2. Picked up by the shortstop to second. 1 relay to first, and that is low. It wouldn't have been mattered anyway. So they're going to get the force out at second. Wiedrich gets it to Micah Johnson, but the run will score, and there'll be a runner at first. Now it's Bjorn Gulden who reaches base on the force out. Logan Peterson comes around to score to make it 7-1. As Shane Tilke's coming out to talk to the umpire about, get some clarification about something. They got the force out, ground ball. They got the force out at second. Peterson came in to score and then tried to turn the double play as Bjorn Gulden beat out the relay throw. So it's 7-1 here in the top of the third. Bloomington leading Fergus Falls. And there is 1 out, and the throw over to first, getting back safely, is Gulden. Maxwell Coker at the plate, the center fielder for Bloomington. And he's 0 for 1. He grounded out as the pitch is outside. Now they runner steals second. There's no one at second. Hustling over is Micah Johnson to cover second. A little miscommunication there, but in any event, it's going to be a stolen base for Bjorn Gulden. Now another runner in scoring position with Maxwell Coker in a 1-0 count. Here's the pitch. Popped up in the infield. Coming in on it and making the play is the pitcher, Brody Crine. So that's 2 away. So Crine comes in and makes the play in foul territory. Kind of a tough play for the pitcher to make. But Brody got there and made the play, so there's 2 outs. And that'll bring up Cole Peterson, the left fielder. He got up 2 times in the first inning, and he singled twice, scored, and drove in a run. He'll have a chance to drive in another one here. Here's the pitch, and just outside, 1-0. Cole Peterson, left fielder. Fergus Falls trailing 7-1, top of the third. Really a nice night here after a lot of rain earlier. Swing and a miss on that one, 1-1. A lot of rain, some scattered thunderstorms previously. That's why our game got started late. Now tomorrow looks like a different story. It looks like it's going to be very hot tomorrow. As right now we got a nice breeze. It's actually really comfortable out here tonight. That one's chopped foul, 1-2. Yeah, tomorrow we got sunny and a high of 92 in Bloomington, so it's going to be a warm one tomorrow. Here's the 1-2 pitch, swing, line drive to right center field, and that's going to get in the gap. That's going to score a run. Swedberg cuts it off, trying to get it to the cutoff man, but it's going to be an RBI double as Peterson's going to have his third hit of the game, and he cruises into second base with an RBI double. He's got 3 hits, pair of RBIs, and it's now 8-1 as Bjorn Golden comes in to score for the second time of the game. And that'll bring up the catcher, Jack Frine. And Frine takes a strike. Frine is 1 for 2 in the game. He's got on both times. He singled and scored in the first, and he got on an error in the second. Here's the 0-1 pitch, off speed. That's on the corner for a strike. So Frine works ahead. 0-2, trying to get out of this inning. 2 runs are in. It's 8-1 Bloomington. And here's the pitch. Swing, and that is knocked to the left side. Picking up, throwing all the way across, and getting the out. Beautiful play there by Wiedrich. It was kind of a check swing on the ground ball that went towards the hole. Wiedrich had to go to his right backhand, turned and throw. Beautiful play there by Cam Wiedrich to retire Jack Frine, and that'll do it for Bloomington. But they put up 2 runs as they had 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on base. Go to the bottom of the third. It's Bloomington 8 and Fergus Falls 1. Back with more Junior Legion State Tournament action after this.
It's grilling season. Time to go through the checklist to make sure you're set. Let's see. Grill gates clean. Lighter ignition works. Propane tank is full. Maybe. When it comes to grilling, there are no maybes. Time to refill or exchange your propane tank from Olson Oil Express. You can either exchange your tank or have their staff refill your tank for you. And now that you know your grill tank is ready for cooking, have you checked your camper tanks? I didn't think so. Olson Oil, Card Express, West Lincoln, Fergus Falls.
Who's hungry? American Legion in Fergus Falls can take care of that. Dine in or take out every Wednesday through Saturday and enjoy our weekly Wednesday special. Burgers and walleye, salads and desserts, and of course our famous barbecued ribs and cheesy potatoes. Ask about our dessert specials too. American Legion of Fergus Falls. So proud of our American Legion baseball teams.
Well, thanks to the Holiday Inn Express and Suites of Mall America. They're housing me tonight and the Fergus Falls American Legion team, as we'll be back tomorrow for round 2 of the tournament. But if you're heading to the cities for a sporting event or a family getaway, make your reservations now at the Holiday Inn Express of Mall of America, conveniently located in the heart of Bloomington, just minutes away from Mall of America and the Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport. Hot breakfast, 24/7 shuttle for shopping or the mall or to catch your flight. Experience great hospitality at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, Mall of America in Bloomington. Leading off the bottom of the third for Fergus Falls is first baseman Holden Stenstrom. And the pitch by Kyle Fortner is outside, 1-0. And here's the pitch. That one's low as well, 2-0. So Stenstrom stepping in, batting .250 on the year. 15 driven in, 12 runs scored. Swings and misses through that one. Off-speed pitch. A little bit ahead of him. It's 2-1. Stenstrom ready. Here's the pitch. He swings through that one again. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. A couple off-speed pitches Stenstrom ahead of on that. Try to get his timing geared up, and then that one is low, so it's a full count. Fergus Falls trying to get this leadoff man on, trailing 8-1. As Kyle Fortner, who hasn't walked anyone yet, and swing and a miss, struck him out. That was another off-speed pitch, so it was Stenstrom struggling with the off-speed offerings from Fortner, and he goes down swinging. And there's one out. Nobody on, and Jacob Froning now to the plate for Fergus Falls, the center fielder. 1 out, nobody on, and Fortner winds and delivers. And that's outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Jacob Froning, .342 batting average on the year. He has the second most runs scored at 22, and then 9 RBIs with a .798 OPS. There's a swing and a fly ball to right field. And drifting under it and making the play for Bloomington is the right fielder Logan Peterson. So a quick couple of outs here. And as Froning flies out to right, and that'll bring up the leadoff batter, Caleb Froning.
The designated hitter, number 14.
Caleb Froning in the first inning led off with an infield single. He stole second and came around to score on a ground out by Brody Crine. That's the one Fergus Falls run of the game. We try to get a 2-out rally going here as Fortner winds and delivers. That's in for a strike, 0-1. Froning steps in, ready to go here on the 0-1 pitch. That is a little bit low, and it'll even out at a ball and a strike. Previous game, it was New Ulm defeating Chanhassen 8-4 in the preceding game. And then that one is low. 2-1 now to Caleb Froning. So the winner will play New Ulm tomorrow at 2 o'clock. The loser goes to the elimination bracket, still alive, but to the elimination bracket to play Chanhassen at 11:30 tomorrow morning. And here's the pitch from Fortner. Ground ball towards short. Scooped up by Golden on to first, and that'll be a 1-2-3 inning. And as Bloomington doing a nice job defensively, haven't made any mistakes when Fergus Falls has put it in play. So it's a 1-2-3 inning. In fact, nine consecutive Fergus Falls players have been retired since a leadoff single by Caleb Froning in the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We're through 3 innings here at Red Haddocks Field in Bloomington. It's Bloomington 8 and Fergus Falls Post 31. And we'll hear a word from our sponsors and be back with more state tournament baseball after this.
What are you thinking about right now? Let me guess. You're thinking how great pancakes and hash browns would taste right now at the Viking Cafe. Hi, this is Pat from the Viking, and trust me, even though I own the joint, I still think about how awesome our food is. From our pancakes to our burgers, our lunch specials to our award-winning omelets, a person just can't help think about how satisfying and delicious the food really is. So join us today for breakfast all day and lunch too at the Viking Cafe in beautiful downtown Fergus Falls.
At FM Bank, they invite you to experience the advantage. Experience personalized financial expertise and excellence in customer service. FM Bank continues to add products, services, and technology to make your banking and insurance transactions more convenient. Plus, decisions are made right here across the desk from you. No board meetings to wait for, no centralized office to review. And in 2025, their new location will better serve you in the community. FM Bank of Fergus Falls. Experience the advantage. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Top of the 4th inning here in Bloomington. Fergus Falls Post 30, their first Legion team out of Fergus Falls to make the state tournament since 1960. So the junior Legion team making history. But playing a very good Bloomington team. They trail 8-1 here in the 4th inning. And new pitcher for Fergus Falls is Caleb Froning. So Shane Tilke spreading around the innings and the pitches here. And the first pitch by Caleb Froning is low, 1-0. At the plate is Hunter Guess, first baseman. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI double. Came around to score in the first. That pitch is high. It's 2-0. Caleb Froning on the year, 17 and 2/3 innings pitched, 12 strikeouts, 8 walks, a .79 ERA, and a 1.08 whip. Pitch ground ball right side, moving to his right and throwing to first and getting the out. And I got to catch up with the mix and matching here. Anytime there's a pitching change, there's a change in the positions out in the field, and that was Brody Crine back at the second base spot after coming in to pitch, and he makes the play 4-3 over to Holden Stenstrom. And Sam Borboom to the plate, 0 for 1, hit by pitch in the first, came around to score, popped out in the second. There's a line drive right side, moving to his right, coming in, and making the play is a right fielder, and that right fielder now is Ethan Swedberg previously, but the right fielder now is Micah Johnson. So Mike has already played left field, second base, and right field. But a good play on a hard-hit ball, and the first pitch to Gunnar Guyan in there for a strike. Guyan struck out twice in the game. Struck out looking in the first, struck out swinging in the second. And here's the pitch swing. That's chop foul, so he's down 0-2. Yeah, so Micah Johnson is in right field now. Still Wiedrich and Fellstuhl at short and third. And here's the wind and the pitch, and that is chopped towards third. It's cut off by Fellstuhl. Up, throws the first. There's a good inning for Fergus Falls, a 1-2-3 inning. Nice job by Fellstuhl charging the ball, and strong throw to first. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base as we go to the bottom of the fourth. It's Bloomington 8 and Fergus Falls 1.
When it comes to honoring a life well lived, two names stand out: Glendy Nielsen Funeral Home and Cremation Services and Olson Funeral and Cremation. Two local funeral homes with a rich history in Fergus Falls. Together, they stand with a shared commitment of compassionate care and to support families during life's most challenging moments. When you need the guidance and understanding to help honor your loved ones with dignity and respect, trust both Glendy Nielsen and Olson Funeral Homes. Two funeral homes, one common mission in Fergus Falls.
Student athletes have their eyes on the ball, making game plans, scoring points, breaking records. At American Federal in Fergus Falls, we know you have goals too. Whether it's buying farmland, business expansion, home ownership, or planning for retirement. Our trusted advisor, Dustin Morris, will help you find the best solutions and make the right calls. Make a winning appointment with an American Federal banker in Fergus Falls today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Good inning there in the top of the fourth for Fergus Falls post 30. It was a first 1-2-3 inning of the game as Caleb Froning coming in relief and got his defense off the field quickly. A ground out to second, fly out to right, and a ground out to third. And it's still Kyle Fortner who's been excellent for Bloomington on the mound. And through 3 innings, he's only given up the 1 run on the 1 hit. And in fact, Caleb Froning had an infield hit to start the game, came around to score, but since that infield hit, Fergus Falls has been retired. Fortner sent down 9 in a row since that leadoff single. So Fergus Falls bats trying to get things going. Cam Wiedrich, the shortstop, leads off. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out to short in the first. And he steps in, ready to go. Here's the pitch, up and in for a ball, 1-0. Wiedrich, 312 on the year. And again, the team leader in runs scored with 26 runs scored. An 807 OPS on the season. And here's the 1-0 pitch. And that is low, 2-0. Fergus Falls needs base runners any way, shape, or form here to try to get back in this game. Their defense has gotten better after a very shaky start in the first 2 innings. And here's the pitch from Fortner. That one catches the outside corner for a strike. And 2-1 is the count. Wiedrich ready to go in the batter's box. Here's the pitch from Fortner. Ground ball left side, and that is going to be fielded by the shortstop, Golden, but he's going to have no chance deep in the hole. And that'll be an infield hit to start off the 4th inning for Fergus Falls. Wiedrich with the single. Fergus Falls still hasn't gotten a hit outside of the infield. Both hits have been infield hits. They try to get something going against Fortner, who's been excellent here, but they got the leadoff man on. And coming to the plate is Brody Crine. Brody with the only Fergus Falls RBI in the game on that ground out to first. First pitch is up and in for a ball, 1-0. Brody, 358 coming into the game. The team leader in RBIs with 27 and an 811 OPS. That one's high, 2-0. So Fortner a little bit out of the zone here, but to start this inning, but we're not too far into the inning yet. But Fergus Falls, could use some base runners here. And it's a 2-0 count, and that one just catches the outside corner. They've been given that one. That looked maybe a little off the plate, but they've been generous on that outside corner, and that's a strike. 2-1 here to Brody Crine. As Wiedrich takes his lead at first, nobody out, bottom of the fourth, 8-1 Bloomington with the lead. And the 2-1 pitch from Fortner. Line drive, just foul. Man, that had extra base hit written all over it, but was about a foot to the left of the third base on a line shot. And instead it'll be a very well struck strike to even the count at 2-2. But Crine was right on top of that one and was close to an extra base hit. But 2-2 as Fortner looking in to his catcher Jack Frine. Looks over at first to Wiedrich to the set. And here's the pitch. Off-speed pitch just off the plate. And it'll be a full count. That was one with the way the outside corner has been given quite a bit. You might maybe waiting for the ring up there, but just off the plate enough to force the full count. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing, and there's a ground ball right side, and hustling over is the second baseman over to first, and he's not going to be able to get it in time. And Fergus Falls with the first two runners on, another infield hit. So that was a little bit of a seeing eye ground ball to the right side towards the hole. Tyler McGovern hustled over, but it was almost in the outfield, probably in the outfield grass, turned him through, and it wasn't in time. So first and second, nobody out. A couple infield hits to start the fourth inning, and that'll bring up the catcher, Brent Sherman. And Sherman 0 for 1, grounded out in the first inning. And Sherman with runners at first and second. Fergus Falls trying to get back in the game here. Fortner ready, and here's the pitch. That's low and outside, 1-0. Sherman leading Fergus Falls in batting average, tied with Nolan Fellstool coming into the game at .397. He's the leader in OPS at .998. Probably means he takes some walks here. He's got 8 walks on the year. Get some extra base hits in there. He takes a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. And he's also second coming into this game in RBIs with 18 on the season. A 1-1, first and second. Fergus Falls trailing Bloomington 8-1. Nobody out. Trying to get something going here. Here's the pitch. Swing, and he way ahead of it. Launched foul down the left side. And it'll be a ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, that was some heat from Fortner, and Sherman turned on it off the handle. Well foul, but a long ways in a direction you wouldn't usually see on a ball hit that hard to the left side. And now Sherman is going to ask for time here from the umpire. As Fortner taking his time, a little bit more deliberate here in the fourth inning. Fergus Falls trying to inch their way back, see if they can get some runs on the board. Trailing 8-1, bottom of the fourth inning. Fortner to the set. Looks to second, and here's the pitch. That's outside. 2-2 now is the count. Bloomington has yet to make an error in this game. Their defense has been strong behind Fortner. As the count is 2-2. 2 on, nobody out. And Sherman at the plate. Here's the pitch, and that is just outside. So the count goes full. A pretty good pitch. Curveball that just was crossing. He was trying to paint against the outside corner and just a little bit too far outside. Good take there by Sherman to force the full count. Here's the 3-2 pitch coming from Fortner on the way, and that is high, and the bases are going to be loaded with nobody out. Excellent at bat for Brent Sherman. Getting the walk, and that's the first walk of the game for Fortner as they're getting his pitch count revved up here a little bit. And head coach for Bloomington, Jack Scott, out to the mound with his infield to talk things over here a bit. So Fergus Falls, after giving up 6 runs in the first, having a couple of errors and a misplayed fly ball, gave up 6 in the first. Fergus Falls came back with 1 in the bottom to make it 6-1. Then Bloomington got 2 in the third inning to make it 8-1. And now Fergus Falls trying to get a comeback going here. And they have the bases loaded, nobody out, with a infield single from Cam Wiedrick, an infield single from Brody Krein, and a walk from Brent Sherman. And it's going to bring up Micah Johnson, the Fergus Falls. Well, you name it, he's been in left field, second base, and right field. And Micah to the plate with the bases loaded, nobody out. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out to short in the second inning.
Left fielder number 4, Micah Johnson.
So Micah trying to keep this momentum going for Fergus Falls and get some runs in. And he's ready. Here's the pitch from Fortner, swing and a miss. 0-1. It was a good pitch. Micah took a shot at it and didn't quite catch up to it. Micah third on the team in runs scored with 18 on the season. And here's the 0-1 pitch. Swinging that as a fly ball to left field. Hustling over is Cole Peterson. That's going to be trouble. And it's over his head towards the warning track. 1 run's in. 2 runs in. Coming around, and 3 runs are going to score. Johnson into third with a 3-run triple. And just like that, a 7-run deficit is a 4-run deficit. It's 8-4. And Micah Johnson aggressive at the plate. Man, they were playing him over. You know, it was a long run and pretty deep ball that ended up getting out to the warning track after bouncing a couple times. And a big hit, a 3-run triple for Micah Johnson. And it's 8-4 as things get a little more interesting, and there's still nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th. So here comes Parker Tilke to the plate. And he squares the bunt, and Johnson comes a couple steps home, and Tilke pulled his bat back, and it's high for a ball, 1-0. Well, some excitement here. Great Fergus Falls contingent here as well, cheering on this team. And a game that Bloomington has dominated has got much more interesting here in the bottom of the 4th. It's now 8-4 with Micah Johnson at third, nobody out. The curveball takes it high, and it's 2-0. So Fortner here, after outstanding first 3 innings, laboring a little bit here, although the first 2 hits for Fergus Falls were infield singles, but then they got the walk and then a big 3-run triple from Micah Johnson. That one's in for a strike, and it's 2-1. Tilke's 0 for 1 in the game. He struck out looking in the second inning. And it's 2 balls and a strike. Still, the strategy stays the same. Fergus Falls needs base runners. Now they're going to get it. Is that a foul ball or hit? That's hit by a pitch. That's a little bit of a scary one. Parker looks okay. One of those where it looks like it could came in on his hands there. Yeah, and Coach Scott's coming over to question, did that hit the bat or did it hit his hand? And one of those where if it would have hit his hand, it looked like one of those scary spots where you could see in Major League Baseball break a finger and be out for a while. But it's going to be a hit by a pitch. Another base runner for Fergus Falls. And there's still nobody out. And no one fell stool to the plate. So after Fortner retired 9 in a row, 5 consecutive Fergus Falls batters have reached here. It's 8-4, and the pitch is behind Fellstool. And really good job. Micah Johnson stays at third. Really good job of Micah to stay as it went right back to the wall, but bounced right back to catcher Jack Frein. And Micah would have been in trouble had he gone for home, and with nobody out, you don't want to take that risk. Although Parker Tilke able to get to second, so it's now second and third with nobody out, and it's a 1-0 count until no one fell stool. A really good base running there by Micah Johnson, reading that to stay at third. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Fellstool. That's high. It's Fortner struggling to catch the zone here a bit. Lost Tilke on a hit by pitch on the previous at bat, and it's now 2-0. Bottom of the fourth. Fergus Falls with 3 runs in. And here's the pitch. There's a soft liner to left center field. That's in the gap. Couple runs are going to score. On his way to second, hustling into second, and he's going to be out at second base. So it's going to be a 2-run single. But getting cut down at second is Fellstool. So a little bittersweet there for a Fergus Falls fan. 2 runs come in. Fellstool aggressively on the base pass trying to turn it into a double. But cut off at second base on the throw. So there are no more base runners. There's 1 out. Holden Stenstrom to the plate. But 5 runs are in here for Fergus Falls in the fourth, and it's 8-6 as they have gotten to Kyle Fortner here. But Fergus Falls hurt a little bit of their momentum there, getting cut off at second base for that first out. Stenstrom fouls it back right over our heads and out of play. And it's 0-1. Stenstrom 0 for 1, struck out in the third, swinging. But 5 runs in here for Fergus Falls. And here's the pitch that's outside, 1-0. And in a game that Bloomington was dominating at 8-1, and looking pretty as bleak as it can be, as Stenstrom swung and missed on that one. It's now 1-2. As bleak as it could be, they had 9 retired in a row and down 8-1. Well, they got 5 and right back in the game. Here's the pitch, and that is in there for a strike. Stenstrom strikes out looking. And there's 2 away now. And Jacob Froning to the plate. Froning is 0 for 1. He flew out to right in the third inning.
Number 10.
8-6 is the score. We're in the bottom of the fourth. 2 out, nobody on, but 5 runs are in. And the center fielder, left fielder, he started at center field, moved over to left, Jacob Froning. Curveball in for a strike, 0-1. So Fergus Falls with 3 hits, a walk, and a hit by pitch. 4 hits. And a foul ball behind us, and that's out of play. So it'll be 0-2. I got to keep my eyes open. I'm kind of in they set me up in an open area. All the fans have a roof over them. But I'm just sitting on the outside here. Thankfully, no more rain in the forecast, but one of those pop-ups could sneak in under me. Just went over my head there for strike 2. So it's 0-2. 2 out, nobody on. And Jacob Froning steps in. Kyle Fortner trying to complete his 4th inning of work. And here's the wind and the pitch. Swing, line drive towards right center field. That's going to be in for a hit. Fergus Falls really getting the bats going here. And Froning will be on first, trying to keep the inning going here. Keeps the inning going, I should say. And now the 9th batter to bat in this inning is Caleb Froning, the designated hitter and leadoff batter. Caleb 1 for 2 with a run scored and a stolen base. He had the infield hit to start the first inning, stole second, came around to score. Then Fortner retired 9 in a row after he got Froning. But then Fergus Falls has put up 5 here in the bottom of the fourth. Here's the pitch. That one's in the dirt. Good stop there by catcher Jack Frine to keep Froning from advancing to second, and it's 1-0 to Caleb Froning. Froning scoring the run earlier, his 18th run scored of the year, tied for second on the team. He takes a fastball low and away, 2-0. On deck is Cam Wiedrick, who started this inning with an infield single and came around to score. Fortner to the set with Jacob Froning at first. Here's the pitch. That's in there for a strike. 2-1. Red Haddocks Field, nice facility here in Bloomington. Some action in the Bloomington bullpen here, as I would suspect this is going to be Fortner's last inning. Throws it over to first, and Froning gets back. One of the arms throwing there for Bloomington is lefty Gunnar Guyan. He's the third baseman. Might see him. Here's the pitch. Line drive down the right field line, and that is fair, just fair. And that'll be a base hit. Rounding second, coming around to third will be Froning. And it's first and third with 2 out, and Cam Wiedrich to the plate. He'll be the 10th batter to bat in this inning. And the Otters are kicking themselves a bit. Feldstuhl, with nobody out, had that 2-run single but got thrown out at second base. 9 batters, and they've only got, 8 of the batters have reached base. It was just that Feldstuhl got aggressive with nobody out and got thrown out at second. Otherwise, just the strikeout to Stenstrom in this inning. But golden opportunity to get some more runs in here. 2 out, first and third, and here's Wiedrich at the plate. Line drive left side, and that gets by the shortstop. Just gets into the outfield grass, but it is going to be a base hit. A run scored. It's 8-7 on an RBI single. We'll call it an infield single for Cam Wiedrich. It was a well hit, kind of a low liner. It took a bounce. Bjorn Galden, the shortstop, tried to stab at it, didn't get it, went off his glove. That's going to be an infield single. And coming around to score is Jacob Froning. It's 8-7. 6 runs are in. See how much longer Jack Scott goes with Kyle Fortner here. It's been a tough inning here. Here is the pitch, and that catches a strike as Brody Krine is at the plate. First and second, it's Caleb Froning at second, Cam Wiedrich at first, 0-1, and here's the pitch to Krine. Swing, ground ball to third. It's scooped up by Guyan, and he comes right over. Was that Guyan? Yeah, the third baseman scooped it up and ran over to third for the final out. But a great inning for Fergus Falls. They get right back into this thing. They score 6 runs. They got to tally up how many hits are 6 runs on 7 hits and no errors and 2 left on base. We go to the 5th. It's 8-7. Bloomington with the lead. And we'll be back with more Fergus Falls post-30 state tournament action after this.
When it comes to honoring a life well lived, 2 names stand out: Glendy Nielsen Funeral Home and Cremation Services and Olson Funeral and Cremation. 2 local funeral homes with a rich history in Fergus Falls. Together, they stand with a shared commitment of compassionate care and to support families during life's most challenging moments. When you need the guidance and understanding to help honor your loved ones with dignity and respect, trust both Glendy Nielsen and Olson Funeral Homes. 2 funeral homes, 1 common mission in Fergus Falls.
I'm back here in Bloomington, where things just got a lot more exciting here, and it's kind of fun. We're set up here above the Fergus Falls fans, and a really good group of fans and parents and friends following this team. And man, a lot of excitement in that last inning as Fergus Falls trailing 8-1. They put up 6 in the bottom of the 4th, and it's now 8-7 as we move to the 5th inning. And Caleb Froning still on the mound for Fergus Falls. He came in relief his 1 inning. He got Bloomington to go down 1-2-3 in the 4th as Logan Peterson, the right fielder, comes to the plate. He's 1 for 1 with a single, walk, and 2 runs scored in this game, and he foul tips into the catcher's mitt for a strike. 0-1. A good inning by Froning. See if he can keep the Fergus Falls momentum going. He paints a strike on the outside corner on a fastball, and it's 0-2. So Peterson been a good weapon here for Bloomington. He's got on base both times and scored both times, and he flies it on the 0-2 pitch to right field, but tracking under it, making the play in right field for the first out for Fergus Falls.
Up next, number 28, Tyler.
Trying to track down who that we've had so many moves around. It might, I believe it was Micah Johnson out there in right field. He's been all over. He's been in left field. I'm so far away that don't have a great look at the number, but fly out to right, 1 down, and that'll bring up Tyler McGovern. McGovern 1 for 2, reached on an error in the first, singled in the third, and that pitch is low and outside. A ball and a strike. Caleb Froning has faced 4 men and retired all of them here as we're in the top of the 5th, 8-7. And there's a pitch fouled back into the net, and Froning works ahead 1-2 to McGovern. Froning winds and delivers. Off speed, that's high, and it's 2-2. Talked about with Shane Tilke last night, don't overreact, even keel, and hey, they've come back from so many games, they're trying to do it again. As that pitch is a little bit up and in, and it's a full count. In two of the sub-state, they were behind in I think all but one of the sub-state tournament games, and they know they can come back. This one was a bigger deficit than those, though, and they got it back to within one. There's a chopper down the third baseline, but it goes foul. So still 3-2. To the second baseman, Tyler McGovern. Get a little darker here, cooling off here as McGovern fouls it out of play down the right side. As there's another game coming up after this one, as the Stillwater and Excelsior Blue will face off in the first round of the elimination game. And now it's going to be a walk just a little bit outside. McGovern takes the walk, so he's going to reach base third consecutive time. And that's the first base runner against Froning here in his second, as he's working on a second inning of work. Jorn Golden, the shortstop, to the plate. He's 1 for 2 with a 2-run double, and he scored twice. The second time he reached on a force out. Now he squares around to bunt and fouls it back into the net. Now he 2-run double in the first, and then he reached on a force out in the third. Stole second, came around to score. That was the last run that Bloomington scored. So he bunts it foul 0-1. Now Brent Sherman and Caleb Froning talking things over here a bit. Ready to go with McGovern at first, 1 out. Top of the fifth, 8-7, Bloomington with the lead, and that one's outside. It'll be 1-1. Good entertaining game in the previous game. Some really good 2-3 plays at the plate that were fun to watch between New Ulm and Chanhassen as Froning finds the plate there, and it's 1-2. As it was New Ulm over Chanhassen 8-4 in the previous game. That one's fouled back by McGovern. Count will stay at 1-2. So Froning trying to get out number 2 here with a runner at first, and that is swing and a miss. Struck him out. That ball was out of the zone inside, but Golden went fishing for it, tried to check his swing, and he was not able to. And that'll be the first strikeout of the game for Caleb Froning. And now the number 9 batter in the order, center fielder Maxwell Coker, who is 0 for 2. And he takes a low 1-0 in the first inning. He reached on the play at the plate where Fergus Falls got an out grounder to third. They went home with it, cut off the runner at home, and then he popped out to the pitcher in the third. Now he lays down a bunt down the third baseline, and they go for it. It was picked up by Froning, and he tries to throw him out at first, and it's going to be an infield bunt single for Coker. That's one maybe might have had a chance to keep rolling and go foul, but Caleb thought he needed to make the play, went for it, and Coker was able to beat it out. So Bloomington with something going here now as they got first and second, and then they got Cole Peterson at the plate, who's been locked in. He's 3 for 3 in the game, and he takes it inside 1-0. Peterson singled twice in the first and double had an RBI double in the third, so he's got 3 hits, 2 RBIs, and a run scored. And there's a fly ball to left field, ranging over, trying to get under it and making the play in left field. As I believe that is Jacob Froning out there, and a threat from Bloomington. But they're able to get Peterson out for the first time in the game at a big time. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on base. We go to the bottom of the fifth. It's Bloomington 8, Fergus Falls 7 here in the Minnesota Division I Junior Legion State Tournament.
What are you thinking about right now? Let me guess. You're thinking how great pancakes and hash browns would taste right now at the Viking Cafe. Hi, this is Pat from the Viking, and trust me, even though I own the joint, I still think about how awesome our food is. From our pancakes to our burgers, our lunch specials to our award-winning omelets, a person just can't help think about how satisfying and delicious the food really is. So join us today for breakfast all day and lunch too at the Viking Cafe in beautiful downtown Fergus Falls.
Back here in Bloomington, and really what's turned into a fun, entertaining game. Didn't look that way for Fergus Falls fans early. 6 runs on the top of the first for Bloomington, and it was 8-1 after 3.5 innings, and it was Kyle Fortner who was cruising through 3 innings, only giving up 1 hit, 1 run through 3 innings. But then Fergus Falls got to him with 6 runs in the 7th. Now they're going to stick with Fortner. He's still in here after 4 innings pitched and 7 earned runs, but they're going to go with him here. And we'll see. He struggled a little bit with his control once the Otters got the threat going, or Fergus Falls got the threat going. And we'll see if he can find the plate here again. Now Brent Sherman will lead it off. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a run. He walked in the last inning. He came around to score. And here's the pitch to Sherman. That's inside, almost hit him. And it's 1-0. Fergus Falls trying to knock off the host team, Bloomington. This is their home field, Red Haddocks Field. And here's the pitch from Fortner. That's right down the pipe. Good velocity on that one. 1-1. Sherman, the catcher. High batting average, leads the team in OPS. Second in RBIs. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Line drive down the left field line. And that is a base hit. Is he going to try to go for 2? They're going to hold him at first. Ball kind of died there out in the grass. Probably some wet grass out there with the rain they had earlier. That's slowing the ball down. But Sherman all over that one. Line drive base hit to start the inning. And Fergus Falls continuing to get to Fortner here. I'm a little surprised. They had their bullpen is active. It was active last inning as well, too, while he was pitching. But they're going to stick with him. And now Micah Johnson, who's had the biggest Fergus Falls hit of the game, he had a 3-run triple in the last inning in the 4th. So 1 for 2 with a triple, 3 RBIs and a run scored. And here's the pitch to Johnson. That's in for a strike, fastball on the outside part of the plate, 0-1. And so Micah, with those 3 RBIs, is now driven in 17 on the year. And he's second on the team in runs scored with 19. Man, what a big hit that was on an 0-1 count with the bases loaded. Cleared the bases with a triple. And that one's low. 1-1. Bottom of the 5th inning. It's Bloomington 8, Fergus Falls 7. Fergus Falls with a runner at first. Now they actually a courtesy runner is going to come in for catcher Brent Sherman.
Number 9.
And it's going to be Isaiah Holmes coming in to run for Sherman. So Isaiah Holmes at first now. Get those courtesy runners for a pitcher or catcher if you choose to do so. And here's the pitch. And takes it inside. 2-1 now to Micah Johnson. Isaiah Holmes, he's got speed. He's got six stolen bases, and he's off on the move. They throw it down to second. I think they got him. Oh, he evaded the tag, and he's in there safely. Good job there by Holmes. Really a good throw by the catcher, and Isaiah did a great job weaving around that tag, and he gets his 7th stolen base of the season, and he's in scoring position. The tying run now at second. The pitch was out of the zone for a ball, so it's now 3-1 to Micah Johnson. So the tying run at second. And Fortner still on the mound. And here's the pitch, 3-1, and that is inside, ball 4. So Micah Johnson takes the walk. Fergus Falls with runners at first and second, nobody out. And Parker Tilke now comes to the plate. Tilke 0 for 1 with a run scored. Struck out in the 2nd, and he was hit by a pitch in the 4th, came around to score. And they continue to go with Fortner, who cruised through the first 3 innings, gave up 6 earned runs in the 4th, and now a single and a walk here to start the 5th inning as Tilke calls for time. Isaiah Holmes is at second. Micah Johnson at first. Nobody out. Fergus Falls trailed 8-1 earlier. They are now down 8-7 with 2 on and nobody out in the bottom of the fifth. Turning to bunt is Tilke. Now running to third. Isaiah Holmes goes to third, and now coming to second will be Micah Johnson. And there's an impact by Isaiah Holmes coming in as the courtesy runner. And as Tilke turned to bunt, third baseman comes in to field it. No one was on third, and he just sped on to third. And that gave Micah Johnson the opportunity to steal second as well. So Isaiah Holmes with a pair of stolen bases here. And a second and third. That was a strike. Second and third. Nobody out, bottom of the fifth, 0-1 to Parker Tilke. Here's the pitch, and he pops it foul behind us out of play, and it's 0-2. 3 strikeouts in the game for Fortner. 2 of them looking, 1 of them swinging. But Fergus Falls was second and third, and nobody out. Down 8-7, bottom of the fifth, and it's an 0-2 count to Parker Tilke, who's 0-for-1 with a run scored in the game. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Fortner, and that is in there for strike 3. Off-speed pitch. That was a nice pitch. And got Tilke looking for the second time in the game. So that will now bring up Nolan Fellstool. The second and third.
Number 3, Nolan.
And now 1 out. Fellstool. He's 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs. Here's the pitch to the lefty. That catches the outside corner, and it's 0-1. Fellstool grounded out to second in the second inning, and then he had a 2-run single in the fourth. 0-1 to Fellstool. He turns and looks back to second. Micah Johnson gets back. Micah Johnson at second. Isaiah Holmes at third. Isaiah with a pair of steals here, coming in as a courtesy runner for catcher Brent Sherman. And see if Fergus Falls can take advantage. Here's the pitch to Fellstool. And that catches the outside corner. And now Fortner gets ahead of Fellstool, 0-2. So Fortner trying to battle back. The second and third, he struck out Tilke, and now he's ahead of Fellstool, 0-2. Here's the set by Fortner. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got Fellstool to chase the high fastball. So 2 down, and now Holden Stenstrom to the plate for Fergus Falls. So a big moment here. Second and third, 2 out. Stenstrom 0 for 2. He struck out twice in the game. Struck out swinging in the third. Struck out looking in the fourth. Right-handed batter Stenstrom. And he'll take it outside on a fastball, 1-0. Yeah, big moment. Fergus Falls in a chance. I'm trying to learn with not quite the Otters here with Fergus Falls post 30. A lot of Otters on the team, but as Stenstrom foul tip into the catcher's mitt, it's 1-1. With second and third, nobody out. Chance to tie or take the lead. Want to get something here on the board here in the bottom of the fifth. But a couple strikeouts here from Fortner trying to work out of it. Here's the pitch to Stenstrom. Curveball up and in. 2-1. On deck for Fergus Falls is Jacob Froning, the center fielder. Well, center fielder and left fielder as he's played this game. So it's 2-1, and here's the pitch to Stenstrom. That's high and away, and now it's 3-1. So Stenstrom, 3-1 is the count. He gets ahead. He has a chance, probably going to see something around the plate here, see if he can drive one. And here's the pitch. And he does right down the pipe. Stenstrom takes it. And it's a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Fortner trying to get out of this jam with 3 consecutive strikeouts. Stenstrom trying to keep this inning going and maybe give Fergus Falls the lead. Here's the full count pitch from Fortner. Swing and bloop down the right field line, and it is just foul. Well, it's ended up about 8 feet foul down the right field line as it's being chased down by Logan Peterson of Bloomington, but it goes foul, and we'll do it again. Full count, 3-2. 3-2 is the count to Holden Stenstrom. Isaiah Holmes at third, Micah Johnson at second. Fergus Falls trailing Bloomington 8-7, bottom of the fifth. First round of the Minnesota Division I Junior Legion State Tournament here in Bloomington. Bloomington, the host team. And here's the full count from Fortner to Stenstrom. Swinging, there's a fly ball to deep left center field. Backing up, trying to get there, and it is hit by the left fielder. 2 runs are going to score. Stenstrom with the clutch double, and Fergus Falls has come all the way back from an 8-1 deficit to take the lead 9-8 on a 3-2 count. What a huge hit from Holden Stenstrom. A 2-run double as Holmes,
number 10, Jacob Bonnie,
and Micah Johnson come around to score, and Fergus Falls leads it 9-8 here in the bottom of the fifth. Man, clutch hit right when Fergus Falls needed. It looked like that Fortner might be able to get out of it, but then a huge 2-out double as Jacob Froning is now at the plate, and he takes it high. 1-0. Well, Fergus Falls wants more here with Stenstrom at second. And Jacob Froning at the plate. Froning's 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. He takes a strike. It's 1-1. What a comeback. Trailed 8-1. They got 6 in the fourth, and they have 2 in right now in the fifth, leading 9-8. Looking for more. Here's the pitch to Froning. Swing, foul tip for a strike, and it's now 1-2. Froning, .342 batter on the year. Had a base hit in the fourth and came around to score. And here's the 1-2 pitch. Ground ball left side, charged by Golden. Picks it up across to first, diving, trying to get in, and out at first. Man, that was close. Bang, bang play. But Froning is retired. Short to first, but Fergus Falls gets 2 here in the fifth. They take the lead as they score 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We're on to the 6th inning. Fergus Falls with their first lead of the game. They lead Bloomington 9-8, and we'll be back with more after this.
At FM Bank, they invite you to experience the advantage. Experience personalized financial expertise and excellence in customer service. FM Bank continues to add products, services, and technology to make your banking and insurance transactions more convenient. Plus, decisions are made right here across the desk from you. No board meetings to wait for, no centralized office to review. And in 2025, their new location will better serve you in the community. FM Bank of Fergus Falls. Experience the advantage. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Now, excitement here in Bloomington as Fergus Falls, they trailed 8-1 going into the bottom of the fourth. They put up 6 in the fourth and just put up 2 more in the fifth, and they are back up on top 9-8. And
ladies and gentlemen, I'll take all the mystery out of the one.
Caleb Froning will stay on the mound for Fergus Falls as he's pitched 2 scoreless innings in relief. He's a 2 innings pitch with no runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, and a strikeout. And he will face the heart of the Bloomington order, the 2-3-4 hitters. And Jack Fry, the catcher, will lead it off, the lefty, who was 1 for 3 with a run scored. This one singled and scored in the first. And here's the pitch to Fry in there for a strike.
Number 36, Jack.
So Fry at the plate takes strike 1. And here's the pitch from Froning. That one's low. 1-1. Top of the 6 is where we're at. Fergus Falls with 9 runs in the game on 10 hits. Bloomington with 8 runs on 9 hits. Swing and a miss for the lefty. Went after that heat. Couldn't catch up to it. It's 1-2. Fergus Falls had early errors that really aided Bloomington's big 6-run first inning, but the defense has settled down after that. That one is outside, and it's 2-2. Double elimination tournament, so you lose, you're still in it, but it just gets really hard at that point as there's a ground ball, too short, scooped up. Wiedrich on to first and making the play at first. A beautiful on the low throw, a beautiful pickup there by Holden Stenstrom, and Frine is retired short to first, and the leadoff man is out. Good scoop there by Cam Wiedrick, and then an even better scoop at short, and then a better scoop by Stenstrom at first on the low throw. Bring up the number 3 batter, first baseman Hunter Guess. And here's the pitch. And that catches the corner. Froning paints the corner for a strike, 0-1. Guess is 1 for 3 with a double, a run, and an RBI in this one. Doubled in the first, came around to score, and he pops it in foul territory. Hustling over is Froning, and it's going to be just out of play. It hits the roof of the dugout on the first baseline. But Froning gets ahead 0-2 to Hunter Guess, who's 1 for 3 in the game. Froning looking in. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And just off the plate, man, it was Brent Sherman who popped up ready to throw it down around the horn and didn't get the call. They've been getting that outside corner, but not that time. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing, and there's a fly ball down the right field line, and it's going to be in foul territory, unable to track it down out in right field. Micah Johnson tried to track it down, but not able to quite get there, and then the count will stay at 1-2. Top of the 6th, Fergus Falls trying to knock off the host team in the first round of this Legion State Tournament. They lead it 9-8. Bloomington up here in the top of the 6th. And here's the pitch. Fouled back again into the net, 1-2. Good battle here now. Froning got ahead of Guess, and he's fought off a couple. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and that's low. And it's now 2-2. Lights are on, getting a little darker here now. Yeah, we're at 8:33 here. As here's the 2-2 pitch, and there is a chopper foul down the first baseline, fielded by the Bloomington first base coach. And Guess battling Froning here with 1 out in the top of the 6th. Froning got Jack Frine to ground out to short to start the inning, and it's a 2-2 count to Guess. Here's the wind, and Froning's pitch, swing and a miss, got him to chase an up and in fastball, and that's a strikeout for Froning, his second strikeout of the game, and now there's 2 outs with nobody on, and the cleanup batter, the designated hitter Sam Borboom, comes to the plate. Borboom is 0 for 2, hit by pitch and a run scored, and he takes a strike. And Froning looking sharp. Good velocity on that fastball. And he's getting ahead of the batters, which is key. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one's high, a little off speed on that one. And it's 1-1. Yeah, Borboom was hit by a pitch in the first, came around to score. He popped out to third and flew out to right. That one's high again, so 2-1. Third baseman Gunnar Guyan is on deck for Bloomington post 550. And here's the wind and the pitch. Swinging a pop foul. Over to my right side. Bangs off the roof of the concession stand. And it's now 2-2. Top of the 6th. Fergus Falls 9. Bloomington 8. And here's the 2-2 pitch. And inside. Getting out of the way just in time is Borboom. And now it's a full count. Froning has walked 1 in his 2 2/3 innings pitched here today. And here's the full count pitch. And strike 3. Curveball in the outside corner. Borboom can't believe it. But he rung him up, and Froning continues to mow down Bloomington. It's a 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. A pair of strikeouts for Froning. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Fergus Falls leads it 9-8. And back with more after a word from our sponsors.
Who's hungry? American Legion in Fergus Falls can take care of that. Dine in or take out every Wednesday through Saturday and enjoy our weekly Wednesday special. Burgers and walleye, salads and desserts, and of course our famous barbecued ribs and cheesy potatoes. Ask about our dessert specials too. American Legion of Fergus Falls. So proud of our American Legion baseball teams.
Well, the Fergus Falls American Legion team and I, tonight, we're proud to stay at the beautiful Holiday Inn Express and Suites Mall of America during this tournament. So if you're heading to the cities for a sporting event or a family getaway, make your reservations now at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites Mall of America. They're conveniently located in the heart of Bloomington, just minutes away from the Mall of America and the MSP International Airport. Grab a free hot breakfast in the morning with their signature cinnamon rolls, then take their free 24/7 shuttle for some shopping at the mall or to catch your flight at the airport. Experience great hospitality at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites Mall of America. Well, a great inning there by Caleb Froning. A 1-2-3 inning, and got the last two batters to strike out. And that was a 2-3-4 hitter. So he went right through the heart of the Bloomington order. And a great job in relief by Froning. I imagine he'll get the ball again in the seventh. He's 3 innings pitched with no earned runs. 1 hit, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. And Fergus Falls would love to get some more runs on the board, leading 9-8. They trailed 6-0 after the first half inning. They trailed 8-1 after 3 innings, but scored 6 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth to take a 9-8 lead as we're in the bottom of the 6th. Now Bloomington's the host school, but this is the state tournament. Fergus Falls won the coin flip to be the home team. So that's why, even though Bloomington is the host team, they are the visiting team on the scoreboard, and Fergus Falls batting second. So leading off, Fergus Falls with their leadoff man, Caleb Froning, at the plate to lead off the bottom of the 6th. New pitcher here for Bloomington, lefty. We'll catch you up within a minute. And it's outside. The new pitcher is Jonah Kaluza. So Jonah Kaluza on the mound, number 33 for Bloomington. It's a 1-0 count to Froning. That's low end. So 2-0. Nice game for Caleb Froning. He's 2 for 3. Pair of singles. A run scored and a stolen base in this one. And Caleb with his 18th run score on the year. His average of 327 is moving up. And he swings at that one, fouls it back against the wall behind him. 2-1. Now Fergus Falls in their sub-state tournament, they came back over and over again in 3 of those 4 games and trying to have the biggest one of them all here in this first round. And here's the off-speed pitch. That's way outside, and it's 3-1 to Caleb Froning, trying to get on base, put some pressure on Bloomington in the defense. Bloomington has not made an error in this game. Fergus Falls with 2 errors in the first, 1 in the second, and 2 of the runs that Bloomington got in the first were unearned. So it cost them early, but it settled down. And that one is low and in, and a leadoff walk here for Caleb Froning in the bottom half of the 6th. So he does his job. Leadoff man gets on, and that'll bring up Cam Wiedrick.
Up next, number 2, Cam.
So Cam Wiedrick is 2 for 3 in this game, a pair of singles, a run, and an RBI. As Fergus Falls trying to get some insurance here, leading by 1 here in the bottom of the 6th. Here's Kaluza. He'll throw over to first, and he might got him picked off. He's picked off at first. Oh, a good, quick pickoff move by Kaluza. And Froning lost his footing, hustling, trying to get back, and he's picked off. And that one hurts a bit for Fergus Falls to get that leadoff man on, but then get picked off. So now there'll be 1 out and nobody on. And Wiedrick at the plate. And the lefty Kaluza to the plate, and it catches the inside corner for a strike, 0-1. Yeah, you get that lefty. Lefty's tougher to read there on the mound with that angle. And the second pitch, that catches the inside corner for a strike, and it's 0-2 here now to Wiedrick. And it was a quick pickoff move by Kaluza, and then that combined with Froning losing his footing. I thought maybe he got around the tag, but I certainly don't have the best angle from over here, and he was tagged out for the first out of the inning. And Kaluza bounces that one in for, it bounced and hit him. Even though it bounced, it hit Wiedrick, and he's going to get on first base. Well, they get the base runner back anyway with 1 out.
Brody Crine.
And Brody Crine now to the plate for Fergus Falls. Crine is 1 for 3 with a single, a run, and an RBI in this game. And here's the pitch from the lefty Kaluza. That's outside, 1-0. Brody Crine, a .358 batter coming into the game. Now they got another, not him picked off. Now he's in a rundown. Now they throw it away. They throw it into left field, and Fergus Falls lucks out on that one. They got to be ready on that pickoff move. Wiedrich was ready to get picked off, but instead of trying to get back, he just took off for second. And as they tried to throw him out at second base, the throw was high, and it went into left field. Backed up well by the left fielder, Cole Peterson. But Wiedrich gets to second base. Runner in scoring position. Quite a pickoff move here by Jonah Kaluza that Fergus Falls has to be ready for. But here's the 1-0 pitch, and that's in for a strike. 1-1. There's that outside corner that they've been given most of the night. Runner at second, one out, bottom of the sixth, 9-8. Fergus Falls leading Bloomington. There's a pitch. That's in for a strike, so it's 1-2. Brent Sherman on deck. And Brody Crine trying to get the bat on the ball with a runner in scoring position and one out. Here's the pitch to Crine. That's inside. And the count evens at 2-2. So Wiedrich at second. It's been kind of an eventful inning here. Froning led off with a walk. Then he got picked off. Then Wiedrich got hit by a pitch. He looked like he was going to get picked off, but then hustled to second. They threw it away for the first error of the game. And here's the pitch, and strike three on the inside corner as Crine goes down looking. So Fergus Falls looking for another big two-out hit here. They got the first two on. They had second and third, nobody out in the fifth. Then Tilke and Felstool struck out, but then there's a huge two-out double by Holden Stenstrom to give Fergus Falls the lead, looking to get another two-out hit. There's a chopper right side off the bat of Sherman. Second baseman up, throws to first, and that will retire Fergus Falls in the sixth inning. So no runs, no hits, one error, and one left on base. We go to the seventh inning. Fergus Falls leading 9-8, trying to close out a win. Going right down to the wire here in the Legion Junior State Tournament. We'll take a timeout, and we'll be back with the seventh inning after this.
It's grilling season. Time to go through the checklist to make sure you're set. Let's see. Grill gates clean. Lighter ignition works. Propane tank is full. Maybe. When it comes to grilling, there are no maybes. Time to refill or exchange your propane tank from Olson Oil Express. You can either exchange your tank or have their staff refill your tank for you. And now that you know your grill tank is ready for cooking, have you checked your camper tanks? I didn't think so. Olson Oil, Card Express, West Lincoln, Fergus Falls.
Back here for seventh inning action. Fergus Falls leading Bloomington 9-8. And of course, in Legion ball, high school ball, 7 innings is the game, not a 9-inning game like Major League Baseball. So a chance if they can keep Bloomington off the scoreboard to notch a first round win. Caleb Froning back on the mound. He's been outstanding in relief. Three innings, no earned runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and he's going to face the number 5, 6, and 7 batters in this order. Gunnar Guyan will lead it off for Bloomington. As Froning ready, and here's the pitch to Guyan. He squares the bunt, bunts it down the third baseline. Charge, picked up, Felstool across the way, diving in. He is out at first. Great play there for Fergus Falls and Nolan Felstool. He turned a bunt, and Felstool came charging in, played it perfectly, threw a bullet over to first, and retires Gunnar Guyan to start the seventh. Here's the pitch, and it's up and in for a ball as Logan Peterson at the plate. Peterson 1 for 2 with a single, a walk, and a pair of runs scored in this game. Fergus Falls 2 outs away as there's a fly ball to center field, and Parker Tilke is under it. He's got it measured, and he makes the catch. There's 2 down. So Peterson flies out, and Fergus Falls, who trailed 8-1 after 3 innings, is 1 out away from getting a win here in the first round. And it's Tyler McGovern at the plate. McGovern 1 for 3 in this game. He's reached every time with a single, a walk, and he reached on an error. But the second baseman, and here's a pitch from Froning, And that is a little bit low, 1-0 on that fastball. Number 7 batter in the order, McGovern. 1 for 2 in the game. And here's the pitch. And that'll be a little bit low again. Right over the plate, but a little low. And it's 2-0 now to McGovern. 9-8, Fergus Falls with the lead. Bottom of the 7th, 2-out. Ground ball too short. Picked up by Wiedrich. He's up with it across the diamond. And Fergus Falls closes it out. What a comeback. And a nice play. Wiedrich across to Stenstrom. 6-3. What a pitching performance by Caleb Froning in relief. And Fergus Falls has knocked off the host team, Bloomington, post 5:50 after trailing 8-1. They come back and win it 9-8. What a comeback for Fergus Falls. They will advance to play tomorrow at 2 o'clock against New Ulm. New Ulm beat Chanhassen in the previous game. 8-4 was the final score. So we'll have coverage of tomorrow's second round game with Fergus Falls and New Ulm right here on Channel 977. What a great comeback for Fergus Falls post 30 in the first state tournament appearance for a Legion team in 64 years. They find themselves down 8-1. They come back and win it. Great win for Shane Tilkey's team. Win it 9-8. So it's time now for our Pemberton Law post-game show. So we're going to take a break, and we'll come back and recap things after this 1 minute timeout. Fergus Falls wins it 9-8 in comeback fashion over Bloomington. Back with our Pemberton Law post-game show right after this.
Ryan Welly from Fergus Falls Monument talks about what he enjoys most about their family business.
When families come back and say how brought them closure, and we know that people 3-4 generations down are going to look at this product, and I know it'll still be there, and I know what it'll look like when they go look at it. And that part I really enjoy about it. Just having a product that not many people can say 300 years from now it should look the same as it does right now.
Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls, and at ForeverStoneMemorials.com. Memorials that matter.
Your history is important. It shapes who you are. Pemberton Law has been providing experience and professional legal representation for more than 140 years. Pemberton Law offers a myriad of services. However, their attorneys each focus on select services to offer supreme knowledge and experience to their clients. Pemberton Law would like to congratulate the Fergus Falls Junior American Legion team on a fantastic season. Pemberton Law in Fergus Falls, Detroit Lakes, Wadena, and Alexandria. Online at PemLaw.com.
And welcome back to our Pemberton Law post-game show. And what a win for Fergus Falls post-30 Junior Legion team, as it did not look good for that first stretch, as a couple errors in the first, 6 runs across for Bloomington in the first, trailed 8-1 after 3, and going into that fourth, Kyle Fortner, the pitcher for Bloomington, had just cruised through it, retired 9 in a row. It didn't look like Fergus Falls had anything going. Then the bats got going, the clutch hitting got going, and 6 in the fourth, couple in the fifth, and great pitching by Caleb Froning in relief, 4 shutout innings in relief, and it was quite a win for Shane Tilkey's team here in the state tournament, defeating Bloomington 9-8. So let's take a look at how the action unfolded in the game. Like we said, and Fergus Falls coming off the last time they played before today was 12 days ago on Saturday, July 20th. Yeah, 12 days ago when they won the sub-state F championship over Alexandria Red in Thief River Falls, but they haven't played in 12 days, so that's got to be kind of hard. Rust factor going on, and they showed it in that first inning. Parker Tilkey started the game, and I will say that Bloomington had some seeing eye hits that had some pretty good fortune, got him some base runners, started putting the pressure on. There's a hit by a pitch in there, but Bloomington quickly put up 6 on the board. It was aided by a couple of errors, and the defense really struggled for Fergus Falls in that first inning. And Bloomington able to put 10 to the plate and score 6 in that first inning. And it was 6-0 right off the bat. Fergus Falls got a leadoff single in the first from Caleb Froning. He stole second, came around to score. That made it 6-1. The next scoring came in the third inning, in the top of the third inning for Bloomington, and it was a 2-run double for Cole Peterson that made it 8-1. And again, this was, I mentioned before, it was 8-1, and after 3 and going to the bottom of the fourth, Kyle Fortner for Bloomington was cruising. He had 4 innings pitched, or 3 innings pitched at that point after he had given up that leadoff single to Froning in the first. He retired 9 in a row. But then the key inning was the bottom of the fourth for Fergus Falls, led off by Cam Wiedrich with an infield single. Then Brody Crine had an infield single. Brent Sherman walked. And then really one of the 2 biggest hits of the game, Micah Johnson ripped one towards the left field wall that landed just short of the warning track, a 3-run triple that made the deficit 8-1 to 8-4. After Micah Johnson had that triple, Parker Tilke got hit by a pitch. Then Nolan Fellstuhl had a 2-run single after Tilke went to second on a wild pitch. He was thrown out though at second base. So at that point, it was 8-6, trying to extend his single to a double. So no one was on. Then Holden Stenstrom struck out, but then the Fergus Falls got one more run, added one more run with 2 outs as Froning had a single. Jacob Froning singled, Caleb Froning singled, and then RBI single from Cam Wiedrich, and that cut the lead to 8-7 for Bloomington after 4. Well, it was the 4th inning when Caleb Froning came in, and he sent Bloomington down 1-2-3. Then Bloomington had their best inning against Froning in the 5th, where they got a walk and a single, but Froning got Cole Peterson to fly out to end the inning in the top half of the 5th. Well, then in the bottom of the 5th, Fergus Falls, they led off with Brent Sherman, who got a single. Then Isaiah Holmes came in as a courtesy runner, and he made things happen. After stealing second, Micah Johnson walked. Then Isaiah stole third, Micah second. It was second and third. Then pitcher Kyle Fortner made a comeback. He struck out Parker Tilke, struck out Nolan Fellstuhl. Looked like he might get out of there with no damage and the lead intact, but then on a 3-2 count, Holden Stenstrom, what a huge clutch hit. He had a 2-run double to the left center field gap that plated Holmes and Johnson, and that gave Fergus Falls the lead at 9-8. That was after 5 innings. Well, Caleb Froning, did he finish it off? 1-2-3 inning in the 6th with 2 strikeouts, and then a quick inning in the 7th, a great play by Nolan Fellstuhl at third on the leadoff bunt by Guyan, threw him out, and then a fly out to center, and then a ground out to short. And Caleb Froning pitched 4 innings of relief. 3 of those were 1-2-3 innings. 4 innings, no earned runs, a hit, a walk, and 3 strikeouts to close it out. What a game for Fergus Falls. They defeat Bloomington post 550, 9-8 is our final score. So we're going to take one more time out here on our Pemberton Law post-game report, and we'll wrap things up when we come back. They still got one more game coming up here. They were way behind with some rain earlier today. That's why we got on the air an hour later. And it's actually the first round of the elimination bracket is coming up. They're getting the field ready again. Stillwater and Excelsior Blue are going to play here tonight. But we'll go over all the brackets here in just a bit, let you know when Fergus Falls is playing tomorrow. So we'll take one final time out and on our Pemberton Law post-game report, and we'll be back to wrap things up after this.
Student athletes have their eyes on the ball, making game plans, scoring points, breaking records. At American Federal in Fergus Falls, we know you have goals too. Whether it's buying farmland, business expansion, home ownership, or planning for retirement. Our trusted advisor, Dustin Morris, will help you find the best solutions and make the right calls. Make a winning appointment with an American Federal banker in Fergus Falls today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
I love lists, and the most satisfying part about lists? Checking things off the list, like my list for today. Fill up with gas, get propane for the grill, grab snacks, sports drinks for the kids, and grab supper for everyone. First stop, Lakeway Express for gas. Oh, they've got propane tanks, and they got the snacks and Gatorade too, and fresh take and baked pizza for dinner. So check, 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 check. Sweet.
Lakeway Express, checking off everything on your list on East Burr Avenue, Fergus Falls.
Well, thanks to the Holiday Inn Express Suites at Mall of America. I'll be staying at their hotel tonight, as well as the Fergus Falls American Legion Post 30 team will be as well, located close to right within a mile of Mall of America. I mean, if you're heading to the cities for a sporting event or a family getaway, make your reservations now at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites Mall of America, conveniently located in the heart of Bloomington, just minutes away from Mall of America and the MSP International Airport. Free hot breakfast in the morning with their signature cinnamon rolls, and take their free 24/7 shuttle for some shopping at the mall or to catch your flight at the airport. Experience great hospitality at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites Mall of America. This is our Pemberton Law post-game report, and a big first-round win here at the Minnesota Division I Junior Legion State Tournament. Fergus Falls, they trailed 8-1 after 3 innings. They have a big-time comeback and win it 9-8 over Bloomington to advance to the second round. So let's go over what has happened. 4 games have been played here at Red Haddocks Field in Bloomington. And the opening game was Becker and Stillwater, a good one that Becker beat Stillwater 4-3. Now, this is a double elimination tournament, so no teams have been eliminated yet. But, of course, any of the teams going to that elimination bracket have a lot of games to go before any chance to play in the championship game, which would be a Sunday at noon. Second game of the day was Excelsior Blue versus Farmington. Farmington won that one 15-7. And the game before us was New Ulm and Chanhassen. New Ulm over Chanhassen 8-4, and then it was Fergus Falls over Bloomington 9-8. So what that means for the brackets right now, in about 20 minutes, the first pitch will be coming up in the elimination bracket between Stillwater and Excelsior Blue. So that will, whoever loses that one will be the first eliminated team in this tournament. Then tomorrow at 11:30 a.m., it'll be Chanhassen versus Bloomington in that elimination bracket. And then in the winner's bracket, Becker versus Farmington. That'll be the 9 a.m. game tomorrow morning. And then Fergus Falls Post 30, they will play New Ulm, and that'll be a 2 o'clock game tomorrow afternoon. And we will have coverage of that right here on Channel 977. So the plan would be to have a 1:45 pregame show at 2 o'clock first pitch. Now there's going to be 2 games before that. So if the games are running late, we might get on the air a little bit later than that. But that's the plan anyway right now. And Fergus Falls will play New Ulm tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Now, it's possible to have 2 games. It's possible to only have 1 game. If the winner of the Fergus Falls New Ulm game would be done then for the day, and they would play at 11:30 on Saturday in the third round, the loser of the Fergus Falls New Ulm game would then play right after, in what essentially would be a doubleheader, and they would play right after that at 4:30 here at Red Haddocks Field against the winner of the Stillwater Excelsior Blue game. So it'll if Fergus Falls wins tomorrow, it'll just be the 1 game, and then they'll play Saturday morning. If they would lose to New Ulm, then they would play immediately right after that, and we'll have coverage all the way through Fergus Falls Post 30 here in this Minnesota Division I Junior Legion state tournament. So with that comeback win, just some good individual performances here before we sign off for Fergus Falls. Just looking up and down, not quite enough time for me to tally everything up, so I'm just going to eyeball it here. You look at Caleb Froning was 2 for 4 with a run scored. 2 for 3 with a run scored and a stolen base and a walk in the game. Cam Wiedrick was 2 for 3 with a pair of singles, a run, and RBI. Was hit by a pitch. And it was Brent Sherman, 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. And Micah Johnson he and Holden Stenstrom had the big hits of the game. Micah was 1 for 2 in the game with a 3-run triple, a walk, and a pair of runs scored. And then you had Holden Stenstrom, after striking out his first 2 times on a 3-2 pitch with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th and runners at second, third, had the clutch hit of the game, a 2-run double with 2 outs to give Fergus Falls the lead. And hats off to Caleb Froning, who came in relief. Parker Tilke pitched the first inning. 6 runs came in, but Fergus Falls' defense was really shaky. A couple errors, a misplayed fly ball. 4 of the 6 were earned. Then Brady Crine came in, gave up 2 earned runs in 2 innings. But Caleb Froning, man, he came in and finished the deal. He pitched 4 innings, 1 earned run, 1 hit, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and he is the winning pitcher in this game. And that is Caleb's. How many wins does he have here on the year? Looking over, that is his 4th win of the year, and his .79 ERA and 1.08 WHIP went down, and what a pitching performance. 3 of his 4 innings were 1-2-3 innings, just what Fergus Falls needed to close that one out with a final of 9-8. So, with that, fun night and a good atmosphere at Red Haddocks Field. A great Fergus Falls contingent following this team, and they saw a great comeback after trailing 8-1. They come all the way back to beat Bloomington, the host team. 9-8 is the final. So, just a reminder. Fergus Falls will have coverage of the game tomorrow. The scheduled first pitch is 2 o'clock as Fergus Falls in this double elimination tournament. After winning tonight, will play New Ulm, who beat Chanhassen 8-4. We will plan on having the pregame show at 1:45, first pitch at 2, depending on, hopefully they don't run behind with the previous games, but that is the plan. As of now, 1:45 pregame, 2 o'clock first pitch in round 2 tomorrow. Fergus Falls post 30 versus New Ulm. So that's going to do it for our Pemberton Law post-game report. And our final score, Fergus Falls post 30 in their first Legion tournament trip in 64 years. They come back and defeat Bloomington 9-8. And we'll move on to play New Ulm tomorrow. So thanks so much for joining us here at Red Haddocks Field in Bloomington. This is Jason Retzlaff signing off. We thank you for listening to Fergus Falls Post 30 State Tournament action right here on Channel 977.
Fergus Falls American Legion Baseball brought to you by American Federal Bank, Olson Funeral Home, FM Bank of Fergus Falls, the Viking Cafe, American Legion Post 30, Olson Oil Card Express, Fergus Falls Monument Company, Lakeway Express, and Pemberton Law.